Hi, this is Mel Allen, editor of Yankee Magazine, and this is our brand new July-August summer issue. I'd like to talk to you about two of my favorite stories in the issue. One is one we're calling Sandcastles by the Beach. What's a sandcastle? Well, think of your own room where you just open the door and there's the sand right there. The story started really probably 20 some years ago when I spent one night at a place called the Breakers on Higgins Beach, just outside of Portland. My room was on the third floor. I felt like I was basically on the prow of a ship. There was the sand right below me. There was the tide coming in, the tide going out, and the Breakers is one of the 19 sandcastles in this issue. In addition, we have this gorgeous campground in Maine. We have places like the Chatham Bars Inn on the Cape, and you basically can use this issue to plan your summer vacations from now for the next 20 years. Now, the second story is a little darker, and it comes from, we took an excerpt from this wonderful book that's going to be published in the fall by Richard Adams Carey. And he spent 14 years researching just one night that will never be forgotten in the small town of Colebrook, New Hampshire. It was August 19th, 1997, and a man named Carl Draga, a disgruntled local, went on a shooting rampage, murdered two very popular policemen, came into the newspaper office. This is a little weekly in a small town in northern New Hampshire. Killed the editor and killed the very popular lawyer who had her office right next to the newspaper office. That's a day that will never be forgotten in Colebrook. But our excerpt is not about the rampage. It's what happened after, when the small staff of a weekly had to put out their hardest deadline. They had to meet their hardest deadline, where they had to be the ones to tell the story of the deaths of people who they loved and had known and worked with for many years. That story is one I think you won't ever forget. So those two stories, plus many more, will be in the July-August Yankee. See you soon.